Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back for day 97 of the Hunt a Day. We are getting close to the end of the year. I forgot that it was only a couple days away when I started doing this. And so my planned hunts got a little bit wonked around because I forgot that I had not actually done this monster yet, and I wanted to include it in order to round out like the second gen Elder Dragon trio slash quadro. I don't actually remember when Lunatra showed up. I think it might have been Freedom Unite for the first time. But anyway, we were fighting Lunastra today, and I have opinions on Lunastra. I like it, and I also hate it in equal measure. I think visually, I like the way Lunastra looks a lot more than Teostra. Surprise, surprise, I like the cool colors better than the warm colors. Wow. But I also like how it plays into the fact that blue fire is significantly hotter than red fire. So you have the the oven that is Teostra and the blast furnace that is Lunastra, and I think that's neat. One thing that I really appreciate, it has been a very long time. You will see in this hunt I am very rusty fighting Lunastra. I have not fought a Lunastra in years, and apparently in all my time with Monster Hunter World since it released, I have never fought a Lunastra in the Guiding Lands until this morning. You'll see me pick up one of the Lunastra materials, and I have no idea how that happened because I put so much time into World. But I really like the way Lunastra looks. In terms of its fight, one thing I really like is how it is so different from Teostra, and so much harder than Teostra. I think Teostra, I mentioned when I did the video, is a pretty easy fight. He's not that hard to take out. Lunastra, on the other hand, I have a much harder time with. I think because in my head I am expecting Teostra moves and Teostra openings. Lunastra does not give you as many openings as Teostra does. Her attacks are a lot faster, they come in a lot more rapid succession, and because of that, it is harder to get good hits in. Teostra leaves his head wide open for long stretches of time, where Lunastra is always jumping around, always attacking, always keeping you on your toes, and a lot of her attacks will just melt your health. Her Nova especially is a real pain in the ass to deal with. She will coat a massive part of the arena in fire, and depending on what zone you're in and on what map, it could be an entire zone that is just covered in blue fire that ticks down your health really rapidly. So if you don't Farcaster her away or get moving out of the way as soon as that Nova starts, you're pretty much dead. It gets me twice in this hunt. And I remembered that Nova. I thought to myself before I started the hunt, maybe I should grab Farcasters, but did I? No, because I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I think the Nova is probably the coolest move that Lunastra has, but something I really appreciate about her in comparison to Teostra is they both use Fire Element and Blast Element, but they both use it very differently. Lunastra is very much more a I am going to make this zone impossible terrain for you to deal with, and Lunastra makes the zone impossible to deal with, leaving pools of blue fire everywhere, her Nova just encompassing the entire arena, whereas Teostra is a lot more precise bombs. I don't know how else to describe it. I think the Teostra oven, Lunastra autoclave kind of comparison is the best way to describe it. Teostra will burn you, Teostra will mess you up, but Lunastra will leave nothing but a skeleton behind. It's like that gif of the skeleton holding onto the fence and being just blasted away by an explosion. That's what Lunastra feels like. And it's funny because I fought a couple Lunastra when I was playing Frontier to do some grinding for armor, and second gen Lunastra and early gen Lunastra is just blue Teostra. There's no differentiating between the two. So I really appreciate what World does to make the fight feel unique and to make the fight feel different. I remember when Lunastra got dropped into World, she was one of the title update monsters, and people were salty. She was tough. She was really hard. She was one of the hardest hunts at the time, and I think she deserves it. She lived in Teostra's shadow for far too long. Now, talking about whether Lunastra is going to come back, I think just like Teostra, she is not going to skip many games. I think she is less likely to come back than Teostra just because she's not as iconic as Teostra is. But wherever Teostra goes, Lunastra is likely to follow. And especially with their emphasis on the naturalism and like the realism, the fact that they are a bonded pair of monsters, they're mates. I think that that could open the door for really cool environmental interactions, and especially since like wherever Rathalos goes, Rathian follows, or like those two are in every game. I think we can see a lot of Lunastra and Teostra together. Something that I wish more monsters would do. I just remembered this now talking about it. In Monster Hunter World, Teostra and Lunastra have a pair attack when they're both in the same hunt. Like how some monsters have turf wars, you'll see Lunastra get into it with her Rajang during this hunt. But, some monsters have turf wars. Teostra and Lunastra, I think they're the only ones who have this, have a pair attack where they will do a massive Nova together, combining both of their attacks, and it is awesome. And I wish more monsters did that. I think they're the only ones who do, and it's wild to me that more of those don't happen. I don't know, maybe we'll see some in Wilds, who knows. Now, in terms of returning, I think Lunastra is likely. I don't know how likely she is for Wilds. I can't remember what I said for Teostra. I think I'm sticking with my theory that Wilds is going to pull a Monster Hunter try and introduce predominantly a lower number of new monsters rather than a whole lot of returning monsters. So I don't know how likely Teostra is to show back up, and because of that, I don't know how likely Lunastra is to show back up. I'm going to put her at the lower end of 3 to 4 to come back in Wilds, but a high 8 to 9 to come back in a future game. And that's where I'm going to wrap up the ramble today. Thank you all so much for watching. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I'm going to be doing a final Elder Dragon hunt for the week. I guess not final, because I'm still going to fight Elder Dragons. I just wanted this set of days after Christmas leading up to the end of the Year of the Dragon to be Elder Dragons. I'm going to do a big one tomorrow. And then, who knows? I am probably going to try and think of a plan today at some point for what I'm going to do next. But thank you all again so much for watching. Please stick around until the end of the hunt. If you can, you'll slowly see me get my sea legs back for fighting Lunastra as the fight goes on. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. And until next time, I'll see you next time.